I'm all dressed for the occasion.
Thanks, George Washington.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, the compound's going dark for a while we get a whole bunch of electrical upgrades coming in and stuff. And so we're going to be running on internal power, no shore power for a while. So,
yeah. And by internal power, he means, gas. I don't mean natural gas.
Naturally. Well, no, I've got the battery pack and I got the solar cells and, we'll just run on and the other generators. So we'll just be running on that for a while till they get all the wiring done. The energy utility company's coming out and they're gonna get up there and electrocute themselves and disconnect the compound for a while.
Yeah, that one's still live.
So, yeah. You sure you got them all there?
Let's get this another lineman.
Oh, there's 4 more taking a nap in the truck, I figured out that's why.
Brown and sleep 6, right?
A utility truck,
a ComEd truck,
right? That's why I figured I cracked the code.
Boy, that's not a localized joke that'll totally tell anyone that's listening to this exactly where we're from.
Could be Ameren, could be Duke. You don't know.
You don't know, and you'll never know.
Could be Virginia Light and Power. You don't know.
Could be the great state of Pennsylvania. Never there.
Never there. That's why they have 3 other linemen to sleep in the truck, because as they drop on the projects, they just wake up one guy, you're up now. Right. You're up.
It's your turn now.
Yeah. Welcome again to another episode of Drake and the Maestro, almost relevant and almost electrified.
I wonder if I've got too many plugs on there.
And you know what we didn't get to last time? We're talking about sharing. We're talking about relocating, right? Because the tax man being over there. Right. Yeah. And it looks like she ordered the lobster.
We covered that already. Move on.
Right.
Moving on.
Well, and we were looking at potential residences for the Maestro. And on one of the popular websites.
Resident residencies.
And we're looking at one, kind of like, hey, that's in the price range. That looks pretty nice. And I mean, I got some landscaping issues, but whatever. That could be fixed.
That's basically free.
House looks reasonably, new.
Right.
And it's got a nice big pole barn there, and I'm like, but what's wrong with it? Right? Because you don't get reasonable price and all the amenities you're looking for at a home the size you want and a place that meets all your needs. No, it just doesn't. You didn't even have room in it to park your semi. It's like, okay, what's going on? So we started looking more into the picture.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, it's obviously a manufactured home. It's 2 halves put together, but that's okay. I've got one of those. That's fine.
Right.
And it looks kind of nice. The decor is reasonably modern. Luxury,
it's not a
luxury vinyl. Well, it looks like it's been remodeled from when it was originally produced. And it's got all the things that the kids look for these days with the luxury vinyl floors and the nice cabinets and counters and everything. And I started like, all right, wait a minute. I started looking at these pictures. Like, this is a rental. Aha.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah, this is a rental. I remember looking at
that one. I was like, this is a rental. This is an old rental that someone gave up remodeling.
Or was like, okay, I've had it with having tenants. I'm just going to sell the thing. Because the real tip-off, and I'll put a picture right here, the real tip-off is the huge propane tank next to the TV set powering a Mr. Heater in the living room.
In the living room.
Okay. Either the furnace blew up, or the renters aren't paying the bills, including the utilities, or they were squatters, or who knows what. And then you start looking at some of the other pictures, and okay, first of all, with renters, squatters, whatever, people of somewhat limited means, why is it that their yards are all filled with kids' toys? Why?
Because they have kids and don't know what to do with them.
I guess. So that was the next big tip-off. I'm looking at the pictures of the pole barn, and it's kids' toys littered everywhere.
I'm not so sure about this place.
That's as far as the eyes can see.
And then you look at the pole barn, right? And then you look at the pole barn, and it's been pry-barred open. The big implement door for driving the implements in and out. Someone's taken a pry bar to it to force it open. Because you can see it's one of the big sliding doors for tractor.
Yeah.
They would drive a big tractor through. Yeah.
And Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yes, that's right. Now go get me another cookie round, please. Yes. So then it brings up, okay, the price is decent, but what's broken, right? And what's going to cost?
Everything.
got to figure, right? But then, do you go look at it anyway? Do you at least send an inspector in, a home inspector? You know, make him earn his.
Yeah, home inspector's going to come back and go, run.
Usually, my inspection reports are about 12 pages. Here you go. Thumps down an encyclopedia.
Yeah, this Encyclopedia Britannia.
Right. If they pay you $50,000 to take it over, it's probably worth it. Okay. You know, good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of, it's either that or you get the project that's, because we're looking for something in a reasonable.
Yeah, somewhat move-in ready, but at a reasonable price that isn't just, holy crap, what the hell?
I mean, it has room for things, like in your case, it'd be nice to be able to park your truck, you know, instead of having to park elsewhere and walk to it, that kind of stuff. I was trying
to talk my buddy into buying a 500,000 square foot former nuclear bunker in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I'm in.
It's like, do you want to buy a bunker? It doesn't have to be a bunker.
You know you want it. Never mind the water intrusion. That's fine. It's a swimming pool.
Look at the size of that door.
Was it a silo or just a bunker?
It was a bunker.
I'm still in. Although I was never out. Silo. I have a silo. You can. I think you can still buy them.
Yes, you can. If you can find them for sale, you can absolutely buy them.
Yeah. I'd be
just trying to talk them into, you know.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
It was a call. It was a real call to ask, you know, call for price situation, and neither of us were into that.
Right. Okay. Did you? You were telling me about some experience at, I'm assuming this is a truck stop, Arby's. Did you want to get all lathered up and, explain that one?
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Well, you know, spin the wheel, pick one. You know, we'll just go with it. This one was about being out of everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Did I never tell that story?
No, you never told that story. You teased it.
I don't remember. I got so many, it's hard to keep them all straight, you know.
See what I have to work with, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, please. Out of the two of us, one of us is more frustrating, and it isn't me.
It's all how you look at it.
I was at a Love's south of Memphis, Tennessee. I stopped because I was hungry. I'm hungry and tired. And it's time for bed. And I go to the Arby's to get food, and I walk up, and I was like, hey, I'd like, 2 beef and cheddars, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they go, okay, we can't do that. And I go, well, why not? And she goes, because we're out of roast beef. And I go, you're Arby's. You can't be out of roast beef. That's like your entire menu.
Yeah, what happened when we got the meats? Huh?
Right,
what happened when we got the meats?
We got the meats. You apparently do not have the meats. That is a lie. The meats are a lie. So, you take that for what it is. But anyway.
Which reminds me, they stopped doing steak nuggets.
They did. They had those very briefly, and then they were like, yeah, we're not doing those anymore.
Oh, man.
Always the good stuff's got to die young. The Taco Bell had the big flatbread steak thing back in the early 2000s. That was delicious. They stopped doing that because it's too successful. We can't do it. We're making too much money here. But anyway, so they're like, we can't do the thing because we don't have any roast beef. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any roast beef? And we just don't have any. I said, okay, fine. What else? I was like, what else are you out of? She's like, we also don't have fish. Okay, what else? We also don't have chicken. I'm like, what do you have? She's like, well, we've got brisket. We've got the brisket sandwich. I'm like, okay, I've had that a whole bunch. I'm kind of hoping for the beef and cheddar with the sesame bun, but okay. Do you mind if I just kind of stand over here and question my life decisions and maybe pick out something different? She goes, no, that's okay. I'll get somebody else's order. And the guy behind me was also like, what do you mean you don't have roast beef? And he walked away. He was like, I'm just not going to eat here. I said, maybe that's what I should do. But I kept standing there and just trying to because I'm like, I don't know. My fridge is broken, so I don't have anything in my truck, blah, blah, blah. And finally, somebody else comes up. She walks off to take somebody else, some other disappointed customer's order, I suppose, or something.
She walks off to deny some other customer their order.
Well, they had chicken nuggets or chicken strips or whatever. Was basically all they had, and I didn't feel like eating like a 5-year-old that day, so I didn't get those.
Not that.
No, not that day.
Right.
Different day, maybe. Anyway, so somebody else. Well, she's off doing God knows what the back room with the chicken. I get somebody else walks up.
Were there strange chickens?
Well, there might have been. I don't know. I'm not going to question what's happening back there. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I don't need to know.
I just want it
Anyway.
hot and on my plate in under 3 minutes.
That's right. So somebody else comes over. She's like, "Oh, how can I help you today?" And I'm like, "Well, or how are you doing today?" I'm like, "I'd be doing a lot better if you guys had roast beef." And she's like, "We have roast beef. We just have to cut it." I'm like,
Right.
and at that point, my eye starts twitching. So I'm like, "What do you mean you have to cut it?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it'll take like a couple minutes. We can catch you some roast beef." I'm like, "I was just told you guys are out, and now you're telling me you got it?" She's like, "Oh yeah, we got it." I said, "Okay." So how long are you gonna be here? It's like, "All night." "Oh, we'll just cut you some roast beef."
Should have run out to the parking lot after the guy. They've got the roast beef, like Steve Martin and the Jerk.
The new phone book's here! The new phone book's here!
They got the roast beef. They've got the roast beef, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I calm the murderous rage building in my heart and just let it go.
Live for today.
Right. They make me the sandwich. They make me the sandwiches I wanted, which is great. I get what I wanted, right? Yeah, hooray. Exactly. Hooray. Indeed. And then I'm sitting there looking at their menu, and they've got this apple pie shake that they're advertising. I'm like, oh, you know what? That sounds really good. I would like to try that. Like, I'm just staring at it on the menu here.
That could be good or it could be awful. It's worth
right. That's what I'm thinking too. Like,
and,
it could be good, could be bad. I don't know. I'm willing to try it, kind of thing, And so I go back up to the counter. I'm like, hey, I'd like an apple pie shake. Well, we don't have that.
Same person?
Different. It's the person that told me they had to cut the roast beef.
Oh, okay.
So different. The second person. We don't have that. It's on the menu. Yeah, but we just haven't taken it off yet. To take it off the menu, why is it on the menu?
Yeah.
Just a whole lot of
funnier that the first person told you didn't have roast beef came up and said, "Oh yeah, we got that." Oh,
I was trying to figure it out. I was genuinely trying to figure it out. Just like, what is happening to me right now? Because none of this makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
I was looking for the camera crew trying to figure out if I was being punked. Like,
no, it was near their closing time.
I don't know, because that's another argument I had with a different lady at a Love's truck stop. I go to Love's a lot because I like the reward system. I'm going to stop going to Love's pretty soon because it just seems like they're all going downhill. And
you hear that, Love's?
Can't seem to hire quality people anymore. And I hate to say it, I'm going to start going to TAs.
You need to stop
at reward system.
You need to stop at Haji's Hajib shop and truck stop.
At this point, it might be an improvement.
That would be
how bad it is in some of these places.
At least you'll have an excuse for how bad it is, and it will be a third world experience. You know that going in.
It's bad, but anyway, I got in this argument with this lady because she's like, I was like, hey, what time does the restaurant open in the morning? She's like, all Loves are 24 hours, and I said, that's not what I asked. What time does the restaurant open in the morning?
Right.
I was like, you know what I'm asking you? So all Loves are 24 hours.
At what point? Do the lights in the restaurant come back on and you roll that steel mesh up off the counter and you're able to take orders? When does that happen?
When does that happen? And she just kept saying it. She just kept saying, all Loves are 24 hours. I'm like, that's not what I'm asking. Stop repeating yourself. You know that's not what I'm asking. Stop it.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
I finally gave up. She just kept saying it.
Nice.
She's like, all Loves are 24 hours. I'm like, that's not... I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're telling me. What I'm telling you is you're wrong.
I think when you get in situations like that, and I don't know about the truck stop restaurants, they can't be 24. They just can't be. I don't think so.
They used to be. Pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, they were all 24 hours.
But this is now when no one wants to work,
Not for what they're paying.
Well, restaurant work never was, unless you're management, a high-paying career. It was a stepping stone to a career.
It was a stepping stone to management. Be honest.
Well, it's a stepping stone to
your
something.
Bills while you were in school.
That's all it was. It was like, need some pocket change, a little extra money while you're getting established in the workforce. There you go. And I will contend that you have to get experience in the workforce or education, i.e. college, before you even start thinking about making a living wage. You can't just step out of it. You can't step out of obscurity and then expect a living wage immediately. It doesn't happen. I don't care how much you can't step out of obscurity.
You can't step out of obscurity and into obscurity. Doesn't work that way.
Okay, sure. I think the closet works the same way too. But that's another rant.
Maybe
You're going to put
back in the closet.
You're going to put 4 years, or maybe even in some cases 5 years into a college, into like a liberal arts science degree,
Or trade school. Or trade school. Go to
well,
trade
no, trade.
I recommend
trade
school.
I do too, but trade school is not what I'm. It would be the outlier here, because, or you're going to put 4 or 5 years in Joe jobs, that require a name tag and a hairnet before you can start making a decent wage. And the only step around that is trade school. Trade school is typically 18 months, more or less.
Could be.
And you
depends on the school.
And you can get into a decent trade making a really good wage right away. College, unless you've studied in a specific area, you got
to study something specific.
Yeah, I mean, an engineering degree probably gets you somewhere. Although when I went for electrical engineering, by the time I was getting out, electrical engineers were
a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a double E. And the only jobs available were as sales engineers. You really couldn't work at the field in which you were trying to get educated for. So trade school would be the exception. But this whole idea that I'm going to go get one of these restaurant jobs and I'm going to make enough money to live on, that's never been the case. That's never worked for anybody. I mean, when I had restaurant Joe jobs, I was working 2 and 3 of them at once. I mean, look at me, so high and mighty. But I worked two, and then I worked as a restaurant, a night watchman, and as a janitor for an elementary school overnight. Oh yeah, and then sometimes you pick it for the carpenters union too.
You have to admit
what?
That the buying power was better when you were doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I mean, everything I wanted to buy was out of range, and everything I struggled to purchase was major, and that was just basic essentials. So inflation has definitely made stuff crazy, but wages have also gone. I mean, back then I was $3 an hour, right?
Hang on. We're gonna do real-time fact checking here. We're going to do it real time. Hang on. I used to have an app for this on my phone. I need to re-download it.
But part of it was we didn't have no cell phones. I remember getting a cell phone when it first came out.
Okay, what year?
As heck. 79.
What year were you? 79 was when you were making $3 an hour?
$2.85 an hour.
$2.85. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would be equivalent of $13.57 now.
Yeah, it's about right. That tracks.
We're gonna do real time fact checking here. We're gonna do real time. But that's not what minimum wage is right now. That's not what those jobs are paying.
Oh, they're paying more than that. Most of them.
No. A lot of them are paying less. A lot of it. Federal minimum wage is still $7.25.
Federal, but you go these fast food places are so hurting. They're paying 15 plus. Mm-hmm.
Some of them, not all.
Okay, well, your mileage may vary, but
because I've definitely seen the ads for them at the truck stops, and they're like, "We're paying $10 an hour."
All right, that's still within margin. It's still pretty close.
So if you want to buy on margin,
I couldn't afford anything back then. Can't afford anything right now on those kind of wages. So, and they never were intended for you to make that a career. That was a starting point. So you could prove that you can show up on time and work and, be reliable and teachable and all that. And after you put a number of years in, you're kind of looking to move up, and you would move up. And sometimes it wouldn't be a couple of years. It'd be 6 months, 9 months. You keep moving up and moving up and moving up. And the only thing I did differently when I took over and I started running as a restaurant consultant was I started giving everybody all the way down to the dishwashers profit share. I gave them a share of the earnings of the business, of the net. And I had my graphs. I put my graphs and charts up on the wall, so everyone walking on the line or walking into the back in the kitchen or wherever, they could see what our sales were and what our nets were, and they could figure immediately. They would know how much extra they would get on their paycheck, and that was a great motivator, and we did a whole lot better that way. On the other side, and this goes around to where they goes to closing, is I've had to terminate entire shift of employees who are pre-closing the store. So one of my stores,
it would be like an hour before close, and they've got everything already torn down, and
right, and we're only serving drinks, is what they were telling customers. And I'm purposely, I my restaurant in the mall is right across from the 2-story movie theater. And so people are just, I mean, I bought the rights from the mall to keep that restaurant open at movie let-out time for all the late shows, so that we would have, so people could grab food without going anywhere. And I come in, I'm looking at my numbers. I'm like, okay, well, when I took over the place, the night numbers were really down. And I looked at this. I'm like, well, we're not capitalizing on our potential night business. So I did the late night food, and numbers are still down. And so something I always do, I always mystery shopped, right? So I went and mystery shopped it. And actually, I sent your mom in to mystery shop it at first, and she comes back and she's like, they say they're only serving drinks. I'm like, what? So I went in there and
thus also proving that the screw the owner mentality has been pervasive for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, no, that's nothing new, you know.
So if you think you're being cute and original by saying, screw the owner, you're not.
I'm a rebel. No, you're doing what everybody else has done.
That's right.
So I fired the entire shift, including the manager, and your mom and I closed the place.
Yeah, because he's complacent. He's complacent in the issue.
Yeah, everybody on duty that was fired all the way down. And I told them all, I said, you can reapply. See me in my office. You can reapply for your job tomorrow if you still want it. And
they never come back.
One guy came back. One guy.
His job, man.
Oh, he's like, I'm really sorry. I didn't have a lot to do with it, but I understand. I'm like, yeah, you can have. Not only are you going to have your job back, I give you raised. Have the guts to come back.
To be promoted.
Still the same thing. It was just made a little more base pay, but it's worth it. From as the person running the place, it's worth it, and it's worth it. And you turned out to be one of my best employees. It was great. On the other side of it. I hired an assistant manager right out of chef school, right?
Yeah.
And no, he was great. I mean, at that particular store, he went through everything they told him in chef school, right? Which was the food prep, the storage, how to get the food all stored and rotated correctly, and the walk-ins organized. And he went through the suppliers, got new bids, cut down paper costs. It was great. He did a really great job. And the more he wanted to take on, the more I let him, just do it. And then he quit. He quit to go work at a 5-star restaurant in Chicago. And I'm like, great, good for you. I'm not going to begrudge him that.
Uh-huh.
And the owner comes to me and goes, oh, you're going to be in trouble. Now that he's gone. I'm like, I was running this place for you fine before he was here, and I'll be fine after.
Yeah.
Which it was. But then the real twist on this story is years later, I'm watching one of those chef, where the chef goes in, and it wasn't Gordon Ramsay, but it was one of those likely chef, whatever his name is, the foreign guy,
the foreign guy.
Name. Yeah, the guy from England. He was going in and turn around the restaurants.
We're just gonna call him Chef Mike because I don't remember his name either, but that's close enough.
Chef Mike's it's the microwave. If you got Chef Mike, Irvine, and I'm like, and he went into this place in Downers Grove. I'm like, there he is. That's the guy. That's the guy that worked for me all these years ago. Oh,
that's
no.
The guy.
His restaurant's in trouble? Oh, man. He was really talented. And turns out he and his partner were at odds, and it drugged the whole thing down, which it will.
It usually does.
So anyway, yeah, he was the guy. I'm like, it was fun to see him, but then it was sad because the restaurant wasn't doing well. And that made me sad.
Sad walrus noises.
Oh, sad Jersey dog noises. Yeah. Sad doggy noises. Yeah. So that was, I'm going to cue you up for yet another little rant. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know I was getting queued up for so many rants today.
Yeah. Well, you're the leather guy, right? You know about leather.
Wait, hang on a second. I feel like I'm being set up for more than a rant here.
I told you you're getting set up. One part of it, I'm setting you up. Didn't you get?
Go ahead. All right. I'm curious. You've piqued my interest. Go on.
Right. So I was reading this article about how leather branding is a scam, right? The title of the letter of the thing was "Genuine Leather is a Scam," right? And I remember the Maestro telling me about this, and basically the article is saying genuine leather is the worst quality, right? Lower than top grain or full grain.
It's a bunch of leather wearing a trench coat, basically.
Leather wearing a trench coat. I don't even know what that means. Do you?
I do, actually. Thank you for noticing.
So it's like all the leather people got together and they said, how can we fool the consumer into thinking this piece of junk that we would almost just throw away is worth something. And they go, oh, it's genuine leather. Oh my,
Yeah,
yes.
I have to look. I'd have to look at what the different leather grades are because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, there's
genuine
top,
leather is like
it's the
like
bottom.
top grain is the next one up.
It's where all the leather buyers stand around and they look and they go, yeah, that's leather. It's barely leather, but yeah, it's leather. Because the different grains are like where it comes from in the animal, right? Top grain,
Right. So it's
grain.
no, it's the highest quality is full grain, right?
Yeah.
And then it's followed by top grain, then genuine, and then bonded leather is the bottom.
Oh, I didn't think you could go below genuine. It's
Bonded, yeah. Well, made from leftover shredded dust and it's bonded together by polyurethane.
So it's like the cigarette of the tobacco industry. So it's just
Yeah, pretty
whatever
much.
left on the
It's
warehouse
the cigarette
floor.
of leather.
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked a Pootwaddle cigarette? Pootwaddles contain less nicotine than all the other leading brands. That's because they contain less tobacco than all the other leading
tobacco.
brands.
Yeah, right.
In recent unbiased laboratory tests by eminent throat specialists, it was found that Pootwaddles smoke more doctors than any other cigarette. Try the Pootwaddle 30-day test. Smoke Pootwaddles for 30 days, and before you know it, a month will have passed. At tobacco auctions, some manufacturers buy the lighter, the finer, the naturally milder leaves. Other manufacturers buy only the choicest tobacco. Pootwaddle is the only manufacturer that buys what's left on the warehouse floor. Mr. P.L. of New York used to cough like this. After smoking only one Pootwaddle, he stopped coughing. Shall we observe a moment of silence for Mr. P.L.? Get a pack of Pootwaddles today, open the pack, take off the cellophane, throw away the pack, light the cellophane. You can't ask for a better smoke. And remember Pootwaddle's famous jingle. Am I unvoiced? Light a Pootwaddle in your pocket, watch it burn a hole in your coat. If it burns the cloth and lining, imagine what it would do to your throat. Oh.
And on that disappointment, it's time to go for today.
It's time to end.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to get to it in the next podcast. I got a note here that says we're going to talk about retaliatory spending.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Tune in next time for that. If you need to contact us, you can contact us
Margin.
at Drake and
So
Maestro.
if you want to buy on margin.
Or margarine. You know. You don't know.
Did the investors' bread heavy roll portfolio improve? Anyway, you were saying?
If you need to contact us, you can contact us at DrakeAndMaestro at Outlook.com. That's DrakeAndMaestro at Outlook.com. Or on X at DrakeAndMaestro and on YouTube at DrakeAndMaestro. Tune in next time when the Maestro says, thanks for listening and adios.
Adios.
The pinky and the brain, yes, pinky and the brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice, their genes have been spliced. They're pinky and the brain, brain.
Yeah, the leather thing's kind of always made me laugh. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, and when I saw the article, I'm like, Maestro's been ranting about this for a while. It took the media this long to pick up on it.
No, I saw an article about it a long time ago and went, oh, really? Oh, that's good to know.
Oh, really? Kind of like that auto parts store, right? Oh,
yeah,
really?
Oh, really? That's what you say when you see the part when the price is. Oh, really?
Yeah, which could go either way. That could be good or bad. You know.
Yeah.
Or if you're calling around for that rare part and nobody has it, and you call them and they say, "Oh yeah, we got it," and you say, "Oh, really? You know, are you sure?
We got 6 of them." Oh, do you know?
So you're the ones who've been hoarding them. I see.
You're the problem. Got it.
I've heard of supply chain issues, and apparently you're one of them.
The issue is you.
Good to have that out of the way. Yep. That's neat.